So this discussion will actually be centered around Ole. Most people say that other teams, the edge they have over Manchester United is that coaching department, comparing him to Klopp, Guardiola, Tuchel, and the performances of Manchester United so far, many people will attribute it to individual brilliance of the players and not the technical ingenuity of Ole as a coach. So do you agree with that? How has been his performance so far as a coach? Ernest.
I've always, from day one, I knew Ole is not the person. I've always known that. He doesn't, from even till today, as we're talking now, Ole doesn't know his first 11 after 3 years. Yeah, but it's true. You cannot predict that this match is going to come and this is why he's putting this person in this game. Like, if you watch Unai Emery yesterday, you know that he has those players for specific jobs. He knew the characters of the players. Like, when he knew that Dalot was the person, what is his name again?
Danjuma.
Danjuma is a speed runner.
Yeah.
He knew he would drive and
Yeah.
ride and drive Dalot to the extreme. I'm sure that if it were Wan-Bissaka, he may have changed that game to some other person. But he had instructions for every player, and they came to carry it out. Ole doesn't put any player because he knows what this player can do. He just fixes a team, and that's it. So even when he changes, his changes works. As you said, it is not because the team has a character. It is because this is just the person he wants to put at this time. And you see when he makes his changes. If you see when
very late. Yeah.
So how do you want to win with that when you get a game that you need a cracker? And he has not decided to sample or try something that is different. Now, we all know that Man U has a defensive midfielder problem. Our defense is a little bit beefed up. And there is a need to try out something else. Since you don't have the money, you didn't buy a defensive midfielder that is made, make one. Make one. Look at Mikel Obi, for instance. What was he when he started playing? But Chelsea, this guy, Mourinho got him, made him, and he became what he wanted him to be. Good coaches make players. And that's what, even Ronaldo, even Ferguson, when Martial came, you make a player. You make the player because you need him to do this, and you create him, work with him, around him, and get him to be created to become who you want him to be. And that is the problem. So Ole is only doing guesswork. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. The players are ashamed of themselves. You can't have Ronaldo lose. You can't have Cavani in that player. You can't have Fernandez. You can't have Pogba. These players are ashamed that they are in this team and this team is winning. So when it comes to that, they bite hard. They fight because of that. And they play anyhow. No instruction. Just play. Make sure you score. That's what's happening. So it is the game. It's not because he plays and then changes and then you see the structure become strong and bold. No. It's about go in, do your best, and that's it. So I still have a problem with him. And I think he's not yet the man we need to be. We need to have.
Okay. So Ido, what do you think?
There's nothing to say really. It's obvious. Look, the fans have certain expectations. If you're a United fan, you think about a phase where we were, absolutely successful, and we had a manager who had grown and become such a titan of football. And this same man was able to win trophies with different sets of players, different generations of players. So I'm always wary that we do not think that everybody is going to have to be a Ferguson. To be fair, one of the things that, despite the criticisms I've enjoyed, is that United has still kept on trying to see um, or to move forward. So the appointments we've seen, Yes, Moyes was, well, clearly a step at the time, but that didn't stop the management from saying, okay, so who can bring this success and all of that. Now, with Ole, for example, he's been able to buy a lot of time because, like I said, he's an old boy. But to be fair, if you look at Chelsea and their, in quotes, chaotic system whereby if you don't deliver stuff, you're gonna go regardless of who you are. If you look at that system, you could argue that yes, there's no stability and all that, but it kind of works for them. Now, we don't necessarily need to do that, but it is also possible that we can create an atmosphere whereby we are also results driven. And I think that more than ever before, the outlays by the management this season, you have a Ronaldo, Varane came in, Sancho came in. you know, yes. So as Ernest pointed out, there was a glaring. We really needed someone in the defensive midfield role. By and large, you would think that a very good manager would actually, like Ernest also says, create or adapt somebody to really be outstanding in that role. So we really need a very, an outstanding, defensive midfielder, which Ole hasn't yet addressed. I think that we've persevered with him thus far, and he really needs to step up and deliver. I think the Glazers like him because he told the company line he's not going to throw a tantrum at the press conference. And they kind of like it, and everybody well, and they see that the dressing room is not
Yeah.
is peaceful and all that. But I'm wondering that how long are we gonna do that? Because in the end, United is about winning, or else you could slip into the kind of complacency that had seen save and
Now,
apologies for
sorry, but he said something about what you just said now. He said coaching is not just about winning trophies. I saw that. I don't know how true it is, but it's about building a system. So maybe that's his
no,
own
no, no,
philosophy.
no, no, no. So ultimately, I see personally, why do we support Manchester United and say not maybe Charlton or whatever? You see, look, sometimes the club you associate yourself with is a kind of a subconscious uh, extension of your self worth and how you see yourself. I, for example, I don't know how Arsenal fans do it, but as a United fan, you know, you want to be seen as a fan of the best football club in the world. Coaching is fine, yeah, but remember at certain levels, bone coaching, bone. Why I say this is because you see Bayern, you see Real, those are the guys. We are not Dortmund now. Yes, I know people will say, smell the coffee. You don't have Ferguson there, but and so what? we, we, we are supposed to be, mentioned in the same breath as these giants of the game. So, for example, we don't have a cash problem like a Barcelona that cannot fire a Koeman. Coaching is good, but ultimately you are a manager first. That's the difference. That's why under a manager you then have coaches that sort out your defensive problems or your attacking problems. But you are a manager first. And to be fair, the thing a manager is, especially at a big club like United, what you are tasked with doing is make sure you are as competitive as ever and you are competing and you are winning things. Frankly, at that level, let's leave all this long story. I'm all for, and I'm saying you can building a team, coaching a team, and winning a trophy. They're not mutually exclusive. No, you can be. There was a time I would look at Bayern's uh, the team, and I'm thinking,
What?
what? When did they buy this guy? When you see every time, well, yeah, we know that Bayern is like the baby daddy of the Bundesliga. You say, they'll just earmark somebody, you'll get that person, and they keep building. Really, sometimes you don't notice it, but they are building. I mean, Serge Gnabry.
Nabri, yeah.
Yeah, see what he is doing for them. He still scored this weekend's Champions
Yeah,
League.
very,
So
very excellent goal.
that's what we that's what we are saying. You see, you can build and still win. It's all about the mentality. The end is to win trophies and keep winning trophies. When you win and this thing is very simple. When you win trophies, more people, more people, you build your brand, more
More
money
money.
comes in, you build the team, and then on and on and on. There's no magic to these things. And when you win something, better and bigger players are able to come to your team, then you win more, and then even your academy people, they are fired up. They know that, well, to get into that team, they need to be at their best. I am saying that, look, it is very possible for United to have a manager who manages well, wins trophies, and yet unearths talents. All this Turenchi, I don't know how long,
Yeah,
because it's very easy to slip into complacency. That had seen an Arsenal, for example, and again, I apologize, I'm using Arsenal, but there was a time when Jack came out and said, yes, we are ready to compete with Manchester United now. And even though we've not even won trophies in a long while, they are totally out of Europe. This is a team that used to normally do top four, top four. Then it went out of top four. It's Europa. Now Europa Conference. So
Yeah, not even sure. Yeah.
if you don't do, you've got to have a winning mentality at the board level, in the dugout, and on the pitch. Even the ball boys, it's here. Don't get too complacent. All this, we are building.
how many
Okay.
years? Now, now
Tower of Babylon.
another point is this. Let us not forget, I'll build on from what he said. We're not the only clubs that have changed coaches. Bayern Munich,
Yeah.
some of all these
Madrid.
coaches, they have changed coaches. They were winning, they changed coaches, they were still winning.
Still winning.
So it is not because Ferguson left. It's because we've not allowed coaches to stay as long as we could. And then we are complacent, as he said. Now, there's a difference. Only one team will win a trophy in a season, maybe EPL or FA Cup. Only one team will do that. But you will evaluate the team according to the build-up to that last point. So Man City may not win, or Liverpool may not win a trophy in that season, but you surely know that these people fought hard to get to that point. You know that they're not here they didn't lose because they're not here by chance. They fought for it. They couldn't win, yes, but you can see that they were just here. You cannot say Man U is here at any time. It was a tip. You see the whole thing is that it's like it don't fall to us, and then we took it because it fell on us. So there's a character that the team needs, and that's what Man U is lacking. Among all the top four clubs, Man U is lacking that character. Right now, this season is very clear, and we're not the least in terms of the squad. In terms of the squad, we're not the least in any form. I don't think you can. Our squad is actually like
They've got one of the best squads. Yeah.
So you cannot just. Chelsea can lose again, and they did lose. But how did they lose? Any team in the world can lose again. But you ask a question: how did they lose? And to what team did they lose? So these are questions we have to ask ourselves, and that is what is lacking. So it's not about him being a coach or not winning trophy. It's about how are you not winning trophy? Is it because you just fell out of it, or because you just nothing and then you didn't win? So it's about how much did you put into it. Man U is not putting much. It's not because we don't have the players. Even the midfield issue can be solved, and coaches will know how to solve it. It's not as we have people to draw. There are people to test. There are people to change their positions. Now that you have, if Maguire is okay, you have Maguire, you have you can actually put the kind of defense with either Dalot coming in for that defensive midfield or Lindelof. There's a way you can build it that it becomes tough, and then Pogba and the other guys will come in and pick balls and go up. There's a way the coach can do it. It is what Ole has, and even the commentators have said he is lacking that zeal to try things.
Yes.
Even play Cavani and Ronaldo. Why has he not thought about doing something like that? how to combine those two at a time in certain tough matches, so that at least in the first half you give it to them, and then in second half you can put some relaxation and put more, so that at least if you can knock them out in the first time and then build up your defense in the second half. Why have we not? Why do you want to talk about attack at the last minute? 10 minutes to go, you think of attack. Why does it happen? So these are questions that a coach has to answer. He's not addressing them. He just, as the way they said, the Blazers like him. And I also think that for business reasons, it may not be the best to deal with him as such, but he needs to feel the pressure that his job is at stake. He needs to feel it. He's not feeling it. That's what I think is the problem. He's not feeling that his job is at stake. Any other coach doing that, including the Man City or even Liverpool or even Tuchel in Chelsea right now, they will feel it. They will understand that their game is up if they don't do something. He is not feeling it. He was asked yesterday, do you feel any? He said, no, he has not felt the pressure. I said, okay,